Alright, so hello guys. So in this lecture video, we will discuss accounting for compound financial instruments. Okay, so our first topic for this lesson is the nature of financial instrument. Now, ano ba ang ibig sabihin ng financial instrument? Ano ba itong financial instrument na ito? Okay, ang financial instrument guys ay isang contract. Tatandaan nyo, ang financial instrument ay isang contract. Okay? It is a contract between two persons. Pagpasensyaan nyo na ang drawing ko, no? Okay? Simpleng stickman lang tayo. Okay. Now, let's say, no? Tawagin natin itong si first party natin as person 1. Then, the other party, tawagin natin siyang person 2. Now, para maintindihan natin kung ano ba itong financial instrument na ito, no? Si person 1, tawagin natin siyang issuer. Okay? Issuer ng financial instrument, then person number 2 will be the holder, no? The holder of that financial instrument. Now, the official definition of financial instrument that it is a contract that gives rise to both a financial asset and a financial liability or equity instrument. Okay? So, sino dito ang magre-recognize ng financial asset? Sino naman dito ang magre-recognize ng financial liability or ng equity instrument? Okay. Unahin na natin si financial liability or equity instrument. Alin dito sa dalawang tao na ito ang magre-recognize ng financial liability at ng equity instrument? That is, si issuer. No? Pakitandaan, si issuer ang magre-recognize ng financial liability or ng equity instrument. Okay? Anong ibig sabihin ng equity instrument? Share capital or shares. Tapos, yung holder naman, siya ang magre-recognize ng financial asset. Okay? So, nakikita nyo, sa dalawang perspective, no, sa dalawang magkaibang perspective, dalawa din ang magkaibang nire-recognize nila sa kanilang libro. Okay? So, financial instrument is a matter of perspective. So, sa perspective ni issuer, magre-recognize siya ng financial liabilities or ng equity instrument sa kanyang libro, while si holder naman ay magre-recognize ng financial asset sa kanyang libro. Okay? Now, kaninong perspective ang focus natin sa lesson na ito? It will be the perspective of the issuer. Okay? Yung perspective kasi ni holder, na-i-discuss na natin yan saan natin siya na-i-discuss? Sa investments in securities. Okay? So, dito sa channel na ito, no, naka-upload na yung lecture natin on investments in securities. Alright? Sige. Next. Characteristics naman. Ano-ano pa ang iba't ibang characteristics ng isang financial instrument? Meron tayong tatlo. Number 1, there must be a contract. Nakita naman natin siya sa illustration natin kanina, no? Number 2, there are at least two parties. Pag sinabi kasi natin kontrata, guys, tatandaan nyo, ang kontrata ay agreement. So, it will require at least two parties. And number 3, that contract shall give rise to financial asset and financial liability or equity instrument. Nakuha nyo. So, ayun tayo. Malinaw. Nakita na natin yan sa ating illustration kanina. Next, examples. Ano pa ang mga examples ng financial instruments, sir? Okay, naglagay ako ng apat na examples para magkaroon kayo ng idea kung ano ba ang mga financial instruments. Number 1, cash. Number 2, trade accounts, no? Such as accounts receivable and accounts payable. Number 3, notes and loans. No? It can either be notes receivable, loans receivable, notes payable, loans payable, and debt and equity securities. Okay? So these are all financial instruments. Okay? Sige. So next tayo. Ang pinaka-focus kasi talaga natin sa lecture na ito is compound financial instrument, not the financial instrument itself. Okay? Ano ba itong compound financial instrument, sir? So when we say compound financial instrument, it is a financial instrument that contains both liability and equity element from the perspective of the issuer, which is yan yung focus natin ngayon. Di ba? Nabanggit natin kanina na ang focus natin ay perspective ni issuer. Ano ba ang mga examples ng compound financial instrument? Number 1, bonds with share warrants, and number 2, convertible bonds. Okay? So, tatandaan nyo, pag sinabi nating compound financial instrument, it is an instrument that contains both liability and equity element. Iisang instrument lang ang pinag-uusapan natin, guys, pero yung instrument na yan may dalawang laman or may dalawang elemento, which is the liability and the equity component. Next one. How do we account for compound financial instruments? When we are accounting for compound financial instruments, tatandaan nyo, we must account for them separately. Na? Yung components or yung elements niya, kailangan nating ipaghiwalay. Okay? Ayan. Now, what approach shall we use to separate the liability and the equity component? That is, residual approach. Sir, paano ba yung residual approach na yan? So, for example, no, pag nag-i-issue tayo kasi ng financial instrument, as an issuer, makakatanggap tayo ng pera. So, tawagin natin siyang consideration received. Okay? Now, how do we apply this one, si residual approach? Yung perang natanggap mo, no? Hahatiin natin yan sa dalawang components. That is the liability component and the equity component. Alright? Sige. So, alin dito, sir, ang i-determine natin ng una, no? Under the residual approach, uunahin palagi natin ay yung liability component. Yan palagi ang uunahin nating i-determine ang valuation. Okay? So, what amount shall we assign to the liability component? Answer, it must be the fair value of the component. Okay? So, ayan na, paki-take note. Yung amount na i-assign natin sa liability component ay yung magiging fair value niya lang. Na? Stand-alone fair value niya lang. Then, the amount to be assigned to the equity component will be the residual amount. Okay? So, anong ibig sabihin ng residual? Yung natitirang amount na lang. Na? For example, let's say, the amount of consideration received is 100. Then, in the process of determining the fair value of the liability component, you determined it to be at 90. So, pag sinabi natin residual, guys, it is simply 100 minus the fair value of the liability, which is 90. So, magkano yung natitira? 10 pesos. So, Yan ang ibig sabihin ng residual approach. Okay? Sir, ganyan ba palagi ang ating approach? Answer is yes. Okay? Residual approach palagi ang gagamitin natin in accounting for compound financial instruments. Okay? So, summarize natin. Yung residual approach, uunahin mo palagi ang pagdedetermine ng fair value ng liability component. Then, kung ano man ang matirang amount after deducting the fair value of the liability component from the amount of consideration received, that will be the amount to be assigned to the equity component. Gets? Okay. Problem A tayo. So let's refer to our handout on compound financial instruments. Okay. So in that handout, meron tayong tatlong problems na sasagutan. Na? Problems A and B, that would be bonds with warrants, and problem C will be convertible bonds para comprehensively covered natin yung mga examples natin kanina. Okay? Sige. Now, sir, ano bang ibig sabihin ng bonds with warrants? Okay. When we say bonds with warrants, guys, ayan, yung warrants, no, it represents rights to acquire share capital. Kung sino man yung issuing company na yan, binibigyan niya ng right yung bondholder na bumili ng kanyang shares. Okay? So, tatandaan nyo, ang warrants ay rights to acquire shares of the issuing company. No? Kung sino ang may hawak ng bonds with warrants, meron siyang right na bumili ng shares ng issuing company. Okay? So yan, malinaw tayo kay bonds with warrants. Okay. So on January 1, 2021, a Kim company issued 5,000 10-year bonds of 8%, 1,000 peso face amount each with warrants to acquire share capital at 30 peso per share. Interest on the bonds is payable annually every December 31. Okay? Ayan. Sige. Tuloy natin sa second paragraph. Each bond contains one warrant which can be exercised to acquire 4 shares of 25 peso par value share capital. It is determined that without warrants, the bonds would sell at 114.7. Anong tawag natin sa 114.7 na yan? That's the quoted price. Na? So tatandaan nyo, ang quoted price is a percentage of the face amount. Okay? Tuloy. With a 6% effective yield. The bond price with warrants is 120. Quoted price din. Okay. Sabay natin sasagutan ang numbers 1, 2, 3. Number 1, at what amount shall the bonds payable be initially recognized on January 1, 2021? Number 2, what amount shall be assigned to equity on January 1, 2021? And to prepare the journal entry on January 1, 2021. Okay. So, ang first step natin, guys, no? Aalamin natin kagad yung amount ng perang matatanggap sa pag-issue ng bonds na to. Okay? Now, paano natin malalaman kung magkano yung matatanggap na pera, sir? That is, hahanapin natin yung quoted price ng bonds together with the warrants, which is 114.7 ba? Or 120? Answer would be 120. So, for the amount of consideration, okay, paano natin kukumpitin yan? Ilang bonds ang in-issue? That is, 5,000 bonds. Okay, times, magkano yung face amount? 1,000. Diba? That's 1,000 per bond. Okay, then, times the quoted price, which is 120%. Palagi niyong tatandaan, guys, na ang quoted price ay minumultiply sa face amount. Ayos? Okay, so, let's compute. So, that would be 5,000 bonds times 1,000 face value per bond. So magkano ang total face amount? 5 million times 120%. So how much is the amount of consideration? The answer is 6 million. That's the total cash na matatanggap sa pag-issue ng bonds. Kaso, bonds with warrants to guys. Therefore, it is considered to be a compound financial instrument. So, kailangan nating i-allocate yung 6 million to the liability component and equity component. Okay. Anlin nga ulit ang uunahin nating i-determine ng valuation? Liability or equity? Answer is liability. Diba? So, hanapin natin ang fair value ng liability lang mismo without the warrants, which is 114.7. Okay, so that will be 5 million total face value times 114.7%. No? So, lagay na natin. So, magkano to? Times 114.7%. Magkano makukuha natin, guys? That is 5,735,000. So, yan yung amount na i-assign natin sa liability component. Kaso, magkano ang amount na i-assign natin sa equity component? Answer, residual amount. So, how do we compute for the residual amount? 6 million minus 5,735,000. Magkano yan? 265,000. O, diba? Saglit lang, no? Ano lang siya? Straightforward. Okay? Sige. Sagutin na natin kung ano yung kayang sagutin ng mga computations natin. Number 1, at what amount shall the bonds payable be initially recognized on January 1? Answer is 5,735,000. That will be your answer for number 1. Number 2, what amount shall be assigned to equity on January 1, 2021? Answer, 265,000. O, diba? Nakuha agad natin. Okay. Number 3, prepare the journal entry on January 1. O sige, ilagay natin. January 1, 2021. So how do we journalize the issuance of the compound financial instrument? That is, debit, cash. Magkano, sir? Equal to the amount of consideration, which is 6 million. Diba? Next, credit, bonds payable. How do we value the bonds payable account? That is, face amount palagi. No? So, credit natin ay 5 million. Now, sir, di ba ang inassign natin sa bonds payable, 5,735,000? Correct. Now, since the amount assigned to the liability is higher than the face amount, then we have a premium on bonds payable. So, ito guys, na connected siya sa prior topic natin, which is the accounting for long-term bonds. Connected pa din siya kahit paano. Di ba? Magkano ang premium? That is 735,000. Then, how do we record the equity component of this compound financial instrument? We will credit what we call share warrants outstanding. Medyo mahaba yung natin, no? Yung account title. Okay? That is credit to share warrants outstanding. 265,000. Okay? Now, sir, anong klaseng account si share warrants outstanding? Particularly, it is a shareholders equity account. Tatandaan nyo, shareholders equity account, yung share warrants outstanding natin. Now, specifically, under she, it is called share premium account. Ang share warrants outstanding is a share premium account. Malinaw. Okay, so that's for your numbers 1, 2, and 3. Let's now proceed to the next numbers, which is numbers 4 and 5. What is the interest expense for 2021? What is the carrying value of the bonds on December 31, 2021? Oh, since connected itong topic natin sa accounting for long-term bonds, guys, gagawa ulit tayo ng amortization schedule. So, dapat at this point, sanay na kayo sa paggagawa ng amortization schedule, no? Okay? Reviewin natin. How do you compute for the amount of interest paid? Answer is outstanding face, okay, times stated or effective rate. Answer would be stated rate. What about interest expense? Carrying value times effective interest rate. Di ba? Ganun lang. Tapos, yung amortization natin, that will be simply the difference between interest paid, interest expense. Okay? Then carrying value, alam na natin yan. Now, simulan natin siya sa date of issuance. January 1, 2021. Magkano yung CV natin kanina? Sir, alin doon? 6 million or yung 5,735,000? Answer natin, ang ina-amortize lang natin ay yung related or attributable sa liability component. Okay? So, magkano yan? 5,735,000. Huwag nyo isama yung equity component, no? Hindi natin i-amortize yung nasa equity component. Okay? Stay lang siya doon. Okay. Ready na. What's the stated rate? What's the stated rate? That is 8%. Tapos, what's the effective rate? That is 6%. Okay. Sige. Since parehong December 31, no? Related sa 2021, so ito lang gagawin natin. How much is the amount of interest paid? That is 5 million times 8% times 12 over 12 kasi 12 months lang naman to. Okay? So, outstanding face natin is 5 million times natin yan sa stated rate natin na 8%. So, magkano yun? That is 400,000. Interest expense, 5,735,000 times 6%, which is how much? 344,100. Next, what's the amortization? Simply the difference between these two. Magkano yan? 55,900. Klaro? Okay. Now, anong effect ng amortization sa carrying value? Dapat alam natin kung ano ina-amortize natin. Is it a discount or premium on bonds payable? Ano sagot natin? Ang ina-amortize natin in this problem ay premium on bonds payable. So this will be called premium amortization. So ano ang effect ng premium amortization sa carrying value? Answer is pinapababa niya. Yan ang tatandaan nyo. Which is na-discuss natin comprehensively sa accounting for long-term bonds. So magkano na lang ang updated CV? 5,679,100. Okay? So 5,679,100 tayo. Number 4. Ano sagot natin? That is 344,100. Then for number 5, ang sagot natin ay ito 5,679,100. Yan ang sagot sa number 5. Okay? Bago tayo dumako sa mga natitirang number, lagyan natin ng journal entry to for your reference. Ano journal entry natin ng December 31, 2021? First, record the payment of interest. debit, interest, expense. 400, credit, cash. 400,000. Next, kung makikita natin sa amortization table natin, interest expense is at 344,100. Kaso, ang nai-record nating interest expense, 400. Paano natin i-adjust yan? By reducing the interest expense. By debiting premium on bonds payable. That is, the amortization, 55,900, credit, interest expense. Clear? Okay. Number 6. Sa number 6, ang tinatanong sa atin ay what amount shall be credited to share premium assuming all of the share warrants are exercised? Okay. Now, bago natin sagutin itong number 6 natin, ano ba ang effect kapag ine-exercise natin yung share warrants? Di ba ang sabi ko kanina, ang share warrants ay rights to acquire shares. Di ba? So, yung share warrants na yan, binibigyan ng right yung mga bondholder na bumili ng shares ng issuing company. Di ba? Pero, yung rights na yan, it comes with a price, which is what you call the exercise price. Okay? Sige. So, kung babalikan natin, ang problem mismo, ano ang sabi sa first paragraph? Magkano ang exercise price dito sa mga warrants na to? That is, 30 peso per share tayo. No? Okay? I-underline nyo siya sa handout nyo, 30 peso per share ang exercise price natin. Now, alamin nga natin yung mga ratio, di ba? Anong ibig sabihin ratio? Ilang warrants ang laman kada bond, no? Ilan ang warrants sa isang bond? Ang sabi natin diyan, ang palagi tatandaan natin, no? Kada isang bond merong isang warrant. Ayan no, nasa second paragraph nakasabi, each bond contains one warrant. So the ratio of the bonds to warrants is 1:1. Next one. Another ratio tayo. Kada warrant, ilang ordinary shares ang pwedeng i-acquire ng bondholder. Another ratio tayo. Kada isang warrant, ilang ordinary shares ang kanyang ma-acquire under the agreement? Answer? 4. So the ratio of warrants to ordinary shares will be 1:4 naman. Okay? So tatandaan nyo ang mga ratios na to kasi siya ang makakatulong sa computations natin. Ayos? Okay, tuloy na natin. Now, assuming all the share warrants are exercised, ilang warrants ang na-issue at the time na in-issue yung bonds? Answer is 1:1. Meron siyang na-issue na 5,000 share warrants. Okay? So, tawagin natin siyang 5,000 share warrants issued. Next, ilang ordinary shares ang may issue as a result of exercising all of these share warrants? Answer is 4 ordinary shares per share warrants. So, ilang shares yan? That is 20,000 ordinary shares issued. Okay? Yan na. Ilang shares ang in-issue as a result of exercising the share warrants? 20,000 shares. Which is, nakabase siya sa ratio natin. Nakasunod. Okay, tuloy na. How do we compute for the requirement? First, alamin natin yung amount of cash received from exercising share warrants. Magkano yan? That is 20,000 ordinary shares times exercise price of 30 per share. Tandaan nyo guys na exercise price ang gagamitin natin. Gets? Okay. So magkano yan? That is 600,000. Next, di ba in-exercise ang mga share warrants? So, mag-add tayo ng carrying value of share warrants exercise. Sir, saan natin kukunin yung carrying value ng share warrants? Doon sa amount na credit mo at the time of issuance. Doon sa amount na credit mo as share warrants outstanding at the time of issuance. Magkano nga ulit yung inassign natin kanina? That is 265,000. Since all of the share warrants are exercised, simply multiply it by 100%. So, yung buong amount natin, i-add na natin dito. Okay? Magkano yung total nito? 865,000. Okay? Pero, anong tawag natin dyan? This is already the increase in your shareholders' equity. Yan na agad ang increase natin sa shareholders' equity. Kaso, ang tinatanong, hindi yan. Ang tinatanong ay, magkano share premium na i-credit daw natin? So, how do we compute for the amount of share premium? It is the excess of the price over the par value. Therefore, mag-minus tayo ng total par value of shares issued. So, magkano yan? 20,000 ordinary shares times. Magkano daw par value? 25 pesos per share. So, how much is this? That is 500,000. Kailangan natin ibawas. Then, how much is the amount? 365,000. Anong tawag natin dyan? That's the share premium. Okay? How do we journalize this one? How do we journalize? Dito na lang sa taas, So, journal entry natin, debit, cash. Magkano? 600. Yan yung natanggap na pera Debit, share, warrants, outstanding, which is 265,000. Credit, ordinary share capital. Tatandaan nyo at par palagi itong amount na to, no? I-value natin palagi yan at par, which is 500,000 credit share premium, which is 365,000. Ito mismo yung tinatanong ni number 6. That's why our final answer is 365,000. Kaya pa? Okay, so that's your number 6. 365,000. Number 7, last one. Similar question, pero hindi lahat ng share warrants in exercise. What if only a portion was exercised? So how do we answer this? Okay? Sige, madali lang naman dahil nasimulan na natin siya sa number 6. Okay? Sige. So, kung babalikan natin yung number 6, ito dapat alam niyo pa rin yung ratio natin. Okay? Ilang warrants ang na-issue? 5,000 share warrants issued. Tama? Pero, assuming 60% lang ang in-exercise. Therefore, Itong 5,000 share warrants issued natin, i-multiply natin ng 60%. Di ba? So, magkano yan? That is 3,000. No? 3,000 share warrants exercise times ilang ordinary shares ang ini-issue kada share warrant. The answer is 4. Ordinary shares per share warrants. So ilan? Ilan to? 12,000 ordinary shares issued. Compute natin. The same formula tayo. How much is the amount of cash received from exercising the share warrants? So that would be 12,000 shares times exercise price of 30 per share. How much? 360,000 plus CV of share warrants exercise. Magkano nga ulit yung inassign natin nung simula sa kanya? Di ba? 265. Very good. Times. Ilang porsyento lang daw in exercise? 60%. So, multiply that by 60%. How much is this? That is 159,000. So magkano ang total? 519,000. Tama ba? Next. Di ba share premium tinatanong? Kailangan nating ibawas ang total par value of shares issued. Ilan nga ulit yun? 12,000 shares times 25 per share. So that would be how much? 300,000. So how much is the share premium upon exercising the share warrants? That is 219,000. And that will be our answer for number 7. Okay? Ayan. Entry para sa inyong additional reference. Debit, cash. Taas ang tingin. Magkano? 360,000. Debit, share, warrants, outstanding. That is 159,000 debit, credit, ordinary share capital at par, 300,000, credit, share premium of 219,000. Malinaw tayo? I hope nakakasunod ang lahat Dapat nakakasunod ang lahat dito. Okay? Sige. So we are done with problem A. Then we will now go to problem B. Now, si problem B, like I mentioned earlier, pareho pa rin na bonds with warrants to. Kaso, ano pinagkaiba niya kay problem A? Basahin natin So Herald Company issued 5 million face amount 5-year bonds at 109, or quoted price ulit. Each 1,000 bond was issued with 50 detachable share warrants. Ay, ang dami. No. Each of which entitled the bondholder to purchase one ordinary share of 5 peso par value at 25. Okay. Immediately after issuance, the market value of each warrant was 5 pesos. Stated interest rate on the bonds is 11% payable annually every December 31. Market rate of interest, 12%. And we are given the present value. Okay? Sige. Now, number 1 and 2 tayo. At what amount shall the bonds be initially recognized on December 31, 2017. Okay, alam natin na kailangan, alam muna natin kung magkano yung amount of consideration received. Okay, magkano total face amount? 5 million times the quoted price, 109%. So, how much is this? 5,450,000. Okay, so that's your amount of consideration received or also known as total proceeds. Then, kailangan nating hatiin yan into the two components. Diba? That is the liability component and the equity component. Oh, paano nga ulit natin ina-assign na ng amount yung liability component? Fair value ng bonds. Ay, na fair value lang ng liability mismo. Hindi kasama yung equity. Oh, what's the fair value of the liability component only? Given ba? Answer is, hindi siya directly given. So, ito ang pinagkaiba ni problem B kay problem A. Hindi given ang fair value or ang quoted price ng liability lang mismo. So, anong gagawin natin kapag ganito ang mangyayari, sir? You will have no choice but to compute for the present value of the bonds or of the liability. Okay? So, how do we compute for the present value? Kasi ang present value ng liability that serves as its fair value. Okay? Sige. So, compute natin dito na. Ayan. So, how do we compute for the fair value or the present value? That is PV, present value of the face amount, plus present value of interest payments. Matrabaho siya pag hindi given ang kanyang quoted price. Compute natin. 5 million, di ba? Ano lang ang sinabi niya is, after 5 years babayaran yung 5 million face amount. So, single payment. 5 million times present value is 0.57. Okay? Then for the interest payments, that will be payable annually. So, 5 million times stated rate. Magkano? Magkano ang stated rate na itong isang to? That is 11% times ordinary annuity, which is 3.60. Given yan. Walang problema. Okay? Sige. So, kukumpitin nyo mag-isa ang present value ng face at ang present value ng interest payments. Makukuha na natin ang fair value ng liability component. So, magkano yan? That will be 4,830,000. So, kayo na lang mag-compute guys ha. Basta ang ginawa ko, 5 million times 0.57 plus 5 million times 11% times 3.60. Yan ang ilalagay ko dito. 4.83 million. And the amount to be assigned to the equity will be the residual amount. So that would be 5.45 million minus 4.83. So magkano yan? 620,000. Okay? So ang sagot natin, number 1, 4,830,000. Number 2, 620,000. Ayos? Okay. Sir, hindi ba natin gagamitin yung market value ng warrants? Yung 5 pesos kanina sa first paragraph? Answer is, hindi. Sabihin ko sa inyo, residual approach tayo. No? Hindi tayo fair value approach dito sa pag-separate ng components ng compound financial instrument. Gets? Okay. Palaging residual value. Residual value ang ina-assign natin sa equity. Okay? Sige. So, okay na tayo sa numbers 1 and 2. Numbers 3 and 4, interest expense 2018, and what would be the carrying value of the bonds December 31, 2019. Okay. Ayan, ganun ulit. Amortization schedule tayo, guys. Na? Okay? Pero, nakulangan ako ng row ko. So, dadagdag na lang ako dito, no? So, instead na dalawa yung row na gagamitin natin, magtatatlo to. Hindi ko nadagdagan ng additional row. Sige. So, let's now continue. So, on January, ay kailan ba inano to? Ano yung date ng issuance na ito? December 31, 2017. O, dinagay natin, December 31, 2017. What's the carrying amount? Is it 5.45 or 4.83 lang? Yung pang-liability lang, no? Yung pang-liability lang lalagay natin. Tandaan nyo, pang-liability palagi. Huwag nyo i-amortize yung equity portion. Okay? Sige. December 31, 2018. How much is the interest paid? How much is the interest paid? So that would be 5 million times 11%. So, kumpitin natin. So, 5 million times 11%. That is 550,000. Interest expense, 4,830,000 times, what's the effective rate? 12%. 579, 600. Amortization, how much? 29, 600. Ano ina-amortize natin? Discount or premium? Answer is, since yung amount na inassign nyo sa liability component lang ay less than the face amount, so, meron kang discount on bonds payable. So, ang ina-amortize natin ay discount. Okay? Sige. Now, balik tayo Balik tayo dito. Paano pala ito journalize na wala sa isip ko? Okay. Journalize natin. So, debit, cash. 5,450,000. Leave one space, guys. Leave one space. Credit, bonds payable. That is 5 million. Since the amount assigned to liability component is 4.83, which is less than the 5 million, meron kang discount. So, yan yung debit to discount on bonds payable. Magkano? That is, nasa na yan? Ayan. 5 million minus 4,830,000. 170,000. Credit, share, warrants, outstanding, which is 620,000. That will be your journal entry on December 31, 2017. Ayos? Alright. Sige, so balik tayo dito. Ayan. Kaya discount yung ina-amortize natin. So, anong effect kapag discount ang ina-amortize natin? Pinapataas niya ang carrying value. So, that would be 4,830,000 plus 29,600. So, magkano? 4,859,600. Ayos? Okay. Tingnan natin kung anong kayang sagutin. What's the interest expense for 2018? Sagot? 579,600. Number 4. What's the carrying value of the bonds on December 31, 2019? Take note, 2019. Pwede ko bang sagutin si 4,859,600? No. Bakit? December 31, 2018 CV yan eh. Kailangan natin ituloy. So, tuloy natin. Another amortization. Interest paid. the same. Hindi naman gumalaw kasi yung principal natin. Interest expense, how much? So 4,859,600 times 12%. So that would be 583,152. Discount amortization, 33,152. So effect is add na. So 4,859,600. Magkano to? 4,892,752. And that will be your answer for number 4. 4,892,752. Ayos? Okay, kayang-kaya na. Number 5. What amount shall be credited to share premium? Alam na natin yung formula. Ayan. So, nilagay ko na yung full formula agad. No? Okay? Malinaw tayo? The same set of formula tayo. Ayan. Now, sir, saan nakuha yung 250,000? Okay. So, kung babalikan natin yung terms nila, no? Ang sabi kasi, each bond, no? So, one bond may nilalamang ilang share warrants? 50 share warrants. Okay? Then, each of which entitled the bondholder to purchase one ordinary share. So, ibig sabihin, one share warrant, one ordinary share ang kabilang. So, ganyan naman ang ratio ngayon, di ba? Ganyan ang rationing. Okay, next. Since lahat ng share warrants ay in-exercise, so, ilan ang magiging total ordinary shares na may issue? Answer is number of bonds times number of share warrants on each bond. So that will be 5 million divided by 1,000 face value, no? So yung 5 million natin na total face value, di-divide nyo yan ng 1,000 per bond para makuha nyo yung number of bonds, which is 5,000 bonds. Each bond contains 50 share warrants. Therefore, paki-multiply lang siya ng 50. 50 share warrants per bond. So, magiging 250,000 share warrants. And since each share warrant is convertible into one ordinary share times 1 yun lang. Kaya, 250,000. Gets? O, diba? Ganun lang. Ang given kasi is total face value of the bonds. Kaya parang winork back natin. Okay? Nakuha para sa mga hindi nakakuha kung bakit ko minultiply ng 1,000 per bond yung 5 million. Kasi guys, total face amount is 5 million. Each bond has a face value of 1,000. Kailangan natin malaman kung ilang bonds ang in-issue talaga, di ba? So, 5 million divided by 1,000 per bond. Gets? Okay. Number 6. What amount shall be credited to share premium if only 60% of the share warrants are exercised? Kayang-kaya na natin yan. O, di ba? Kung paano natin ginawa sa problem A, ganun din ang gagawin niyo rito. Ayos? Okay. Problem C. That's the last problem. Convertible bonds. Napagod, no? Ayan. So, ano naman ang ibig sabihin ng convertible bonds? Sige. So, pag sinabi natin convertible bonds, ito yung isang karakteristik ng bond kasi na binibigay sa bondholder na instead na bond na yung hawak niya, ipapa-convert niya into share capital. Ang kinaiba niya dun sa share warrants kasi, yung bond, hawak niya pa rin kahit i-exercise niya yung share warrants. Diba? Pero dito sa convertible bonds, once converted, hindi na siya bonds payable. Kundi, magiging share capital na siya. Okay? Sige. So, on July 1, 2017, Moltres issued 5,000 of its 6-year, 1,000 face value, 10% convertible bonds at 94. Each 1,000 peso face value bond is convertible into 10 ordinary shares with 10 peso par value. Interest is payable every June 30, December 31. Okay. On the date of issue, the market interest rate without the conversion option is 12%. And tuloy nyo na lang pagbasa. Okay? Sige. So, number 1, equity component of the 6-year bonds. So, ganun pa rin naman ang approach natin, no? Magre-residual approach tayo dito. Kasi, compound financial instrument pa rin siya. So, out of consideration natin, magkano? For net proceeds. So, that would be 5,000 bonds times 1,000 face value per bond times. What's the quoted price? 94%. So, magkano to? 4,700,000. Then, hahatiin yan into liability and equity component. The same approach. Liability component muna ang kailangan natin madeterminahan ng value. Now, how do you compute for the fair value, no? Since wala ulit quoted price for the bond itself, kailangan natin alamin yung present value, which is natrabaho to, no? Okay. Similar siya sa ating problem B, ganun ulit, present value of face plus the present value of interest payments. Ready na? Okay. Magkano yung face amount? 5 million, di ba? Since payable ito at lump sum, single payment tayo, di ba? Kaso wala ring mga given na present value factors. So, kailangan natin computin. Okay? Now, what's the effective rate? Effective rate is 12%. Oops! Tandaan nyo, ang interest ay binabayaran every June 30, December 31. So, this is a semi-annual interest. Kailangan yung, anong gagawin natin? Hahatiin yung effective rate nyo. Kailangan yung hatiin ang mga interest rates. So, instead of 12%, 6% na. Ilang periods? Di ba 6 years yan? Times 2.5 periods. Which is na-discuss din natin siya sa long-term bonds. So, medyo magiging matrabaho to this time. Okay? Sige, compute natin. Sige, kaya yan. 1.06. Press the divided by division sign 2 times, no? Then, 12 periods. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Magkano yung nakuha nating present value factor? 0.497. Dapat makuha nyo yan, 0.4970. Round off to 4 decimal place. Then, as to the interest payment, that will be 5 million times. What's the stated rate? 10%. Hati rin. Magiging 5% times ordinary annuity na present value factor. So, compute na lang natin, no? So, minus 1 tayo doon sa nakuha natin kanina divided by 0.06. Magkano dapat to? 8.384. Okay? 8.3844. Ayan, 3844 pala. Nakalimutan ko isang 4. Oh, nasundan? Kayang-kaya, di ba? Okay. Sige, so let's compute for the present value of the liability component. 5 million times 0.497. So, kayo na lang magsulat ng sagot niyo, no? Diyan. Then, i-add natin si 5 million times 5% times 8.3844. How much is that? 2 million? 2,096,100. No? Okay? Sige. So, magkano ito dapat? How much should be the present value of the bonds without the conversion privilege? 4,581,000. Okay? Ano lang sasabihin ko may rounding off differences tayo. Pero okay lang yun. Okay lang yun. Sobrang liit lang as compared sa mga amounts natin. No? So, ang sagot natin for the liability component, 4,581,000. Okay? Then, how much is the amount to be assigned to your equity? Simply the residual amount. So, 4.7 million minus 4,581,000. So, magkano? 119,000. So, to answer our number one, ano tinatanong? Equity component. So, sagot natin, 119,000. Grabe yung no? Tinaan natin para makuha lang yung number one. Okay? Sige. Number 2. Amount to be credited to share premium as a result of the conversion. Sige. Now, ang gagawin natin for number 2 guys, no? Since kailan ito kinonvert? Kailan siya kinonvert? Noong June 30, 2018, which is 1 year after. So, first, kailangan nyo munang i-update yung carrying value niya. No? So, let's start. So, on July 1, 2017 was the carrying value of the bonds payable. That is 4,581. Okay? Then, interest payments tayo. December 31, 2017 and another July 1. Okay. So, interest paid, magkano? Interest paid natin palagi, Di ba? 250 yun. Which is yung 5 million times 5%. Then, interest expense, 4,581,000 times 6%. 274,860. Amortization natin is 24,860. Ano ina-amortize natin, guys? Ang ina-amortize natin ay discount. Okay? So, this is discount amortization. How much is the updated carrying value as of December 31, 2017? Add 4,581. Magkano to? So, that will be 4,605,860. O, isa pa. Tapusin na natin. Interest expense, 4,605,860 times 6%. 276,352. So that will be 26,352 amortization. What will be the updated? So add, 4,605,860 plus 26,352. So that would be 46, ay, 46 tuloy. 4,632,212. Ayan. So, dyan tayo mag-stop, no? Dyan tayo mag-stop. Now, on June 30, an investor in Moltres convertible bonds tendered 1,500 bonds for conversion. Okay. Nag-offer na siya na i-convert niya daw ang kanyang 1,500 bonds. So how do we account for this? May matatanggap pa ba tayong cash, sir, tulad nung sa problems A and B? Answer, wala. Kasi ko-convert niya lang naman eh. So instead, no? So instead na alamin natin yung amount of cash received, ang gagawin lang natin ay aalamin lang natin yung carrying value of bonds converted. Yan muna alamin natin. Kailan ang date of conversion? June 30, 2018. Oh. Magkano yung ating CV ng bonds as of that date? That is, ito yun, no? 4,632,212. Since that is attributable to 5,000 bonds, ipoprorate natin. Ilan lang ang i-convert? 1,500 bonds. So, times 1,500 divided by 5,000. So, saan mo nakuha yung 1,500? Saan mo nakuha yung 5,000? Yung 1,500, that's the number of bonds to be converted. Yung 5,000, that's the total number of bonds issued noong July 1, 2017. Ayos? Okay, so magkano to? It must be what? 1,389,664. Computin natin na. Iyan na lang natin. Make sure. Ayan. 1,389,664. No? Next, since ito ay kinonvert mo na, di ba? Since ito ay kinonvert mo na, add CV of bond conversion privilege exercise. Sir, ano yung bond conversion privilege? Parang bago yan. Answer is yes, bago siya. Pero, similar ang kanyang concept sa share warrants outstanding. In a sense na shareholders equity account pa rin siya. Under share premium. Okay? Under share premium siya. Nakuha ba ako? Okay? So, share warrants outstanding and bond conversion privilege outstanding, that's shareholders equity accounts. Under share premium. No? Paki-take note yan. So, magkano yung natin, yung bond conversion privilege? Eh di yung amount na credit natin nung simula. Magkano yung amount na credit natin sa equity portion? That is 119,000. Kaso attributable din yan sa 5,000 bonds. So times 1,500 bonds divided by 5,000 bonds. So that will be how much? 35,700. Magkano ang total? 1,425,364. Okay? Ang tinatanong, magkano yung share premium? So, kailangan natin minusan yan ng total par value of shares issued. Paano natin malalaman kung ilan yung shares issued? Balik tayo sa problem natin. According to the terms, okay, hanapin natin yung terms, no? Each 1,000 peso face value bond is convertible into 10 ordinary shares. So, ang ratio natin is 1 bond is convertible into 10 ordinary shares. Since 1,500 bonds ang i-convert natin, ilang ordinary shares ang i-issue? multiply nyo. 1,500 times 10. So that will be 15,000 ordinary shares issued. No? So that will be 15,000 shares times, what's the par value? 10 pesos. So minus 150. So magkano ang ating share premium? Buti na lang may space. Okay. So that will be 1,275,364. So our answer for number 2, 1,275,364. Okay? Are we all clear? Okay. Now, saan ang journal entry niyan? Sige. Ganito. Bago ko bigay yung journal entry, balik tayo sa number 1. Hindi ko na ibigay yung journal entry, nawala na naman sa isip ko yung journal entry, pero sige, bibigay ko pa rin. So, ano ang journal entry natin nung simula? Debit, cash. 4.7 million. Leave one space, credit, bonds payable. Face amount, 5 million. Ayos? Now, ang amount na inassign natin sa liability ay 4,581, which is below 5 million. So, meron tayong discount on bonds payable, which is how much? 419,000. Okay? Then, credit nyo C. Tinatawag nating bond conversion privilege outstanding or BCPO amounting to 119,000. Okay guys, so yan ang journal entry natin noong July 1, 2017. Okay, so paki-take note na lang, no? That's the journal entry July 1, 2017. Ang bond conversion privilege outstanding is a shareholder's equity account under share premium, which is similar sa share warrants outstanding kanina. Okay? Given na journal entry, bigay na rin natin journal entry natin on June 30, 2018. So, on June 30, 2018, entry natin is debit na lang, simplihan na lang natin, okay? So, debit natin ay C, bonds payable, pero dapat i-net na natin, net na natin for simplicity na lang. 1,389,664, debit BCPO, which is in bond conversion privilege outstanding. Credit ordinary share capital, 150,000. Credit share premium, 1,275,364. So, yan naman ang entry natin kapag in-exercise na yung bonds natin. Debit, bonds payable, net of discount on bonds payable, 1,389,664. Debit, DCPO, bond conversion, privilege outstanding. Credit, ordinary share capital, 150. Credit, share premium, 1,275,364. Okay? Ayan. And that's the end of our lesson on compound financial instrument. Thank you for listening, guys.